What up, YouTube? We back with another reaction video. And this video, we're going to talk about, I don't know if you heard about the Michigan church fire that occurred. And man, when I heard about this, bro, it instantly blew my mind. You know, because obviously it's a church. You know, people go in there, you know, to have a peaceful mindset, you know, be calm, you know, speak the word of God. You know, and they got people over here burning churches. You know, it's getting too far, man. It's getting to a point, man, like you're not safe anywhere you go. And it's really sad to see. So we're going to check some of it out and I'm going to give my thoughts after this. So stay tuned to the end. I would appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment with your thoughts about this tragedy. And subscribe if you haven't already. I will continue the reactions. My fault, I haven't been uploading lately. Something occurred with my vehicle. Unfortunately, I was driving, cruising. You know, I was driving to Jersey. Man, tell me how the check engine light came on. Check engine light. I'm like, bro, ain't no way. So, you know, a little setback, but you know, can't let it stop us. You know, gotta keep it going. I got that taken care of. You know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta take care of it. Problems occur, you just gotta handle it. Look for solutions, and don't be too sad in the moment, you know, because life occurs, you know, life happens, you know, barriers, you just gotta break through them. But yeah, I watched this, I saw on Twitter, check out a couple of videos on Twitter and see what the news gotta say about it. But yeah, this is crazy, man. When I heard about this, bro, it was sad. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if anybody like died in the fire. Yeah, we'll check this first one. Alex Jones. His terror attack to Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Rammed his truck. He ran his truck to the front of the large den, began shooting attendees as it tripped on fire. What the? For real? Wow. That is insane. This is insane, chat. Makes no sense, man. Makes no sense why somebody would do that. Just do that for no reason, you know? Wow, another about Christian Asina. Anti-white and anti-Christian hatred is the #1 threat facing Western civilization. Wow, this is insane. Nick Johnson, Christians in the attack. I don't get it, man. It's like the people in the church do nothing to the person that caused this tragedy. You know, that goes to show you about the different events that's been occurring. Man, it's definitely spiritual warfare going on for sure. Definitely spiritual. What would be the other reason to attack the church if it ain't something spiritual? You know, there's no other really reason for it. There's active shooter reported at Morning Church in Michigan. Let's see what they gotta say about it. Fox News. Yeah, man. So you gotta question a lot of things nowadays. Like when you're going to a place, you gotta be self-aware. You know, be aware everywhere you go. You gotta be aware now, because nobody's safe anymore, and people gotta realize that. You know, people gotta be aware of that. And I feel it's crucial that you tell your family members or anybody you know that you care about, you love, to just be safe, be careful, and you know, everywhere you go, just be aware, watch your back. Because people they're not thinking straight. They think it was just, you know, killing, stabbing, shooting, blowing places up. You know, it's crazy out here.
We are getting reports this afternoon of an active shooter and a fire at a church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. That's about an hour outside of Detroit. Let's go to Brian Yennis. He has the very latest for us. Brian, what can you tell us?
Kevin, good afternoon. A developing story indeed. We can tell you.
Wait, is that an active shooter or somebody ran through the church? I think it's the person that ran through the church. I guess he's the active shooter.
Right now that the Grand Blanc police say that fire that you're seeing on your screen was started by a suspected active shooter. Sources telling Fox 2 Detroit that active shooter is now down. So this is the situation we have. We also know, according to that reporting from our local affiliate in Detroit, that there are 6 to 8 victims. Their condition currently unknown at this hour. An active shooter shooting the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon church in Grand Blanc Township. This is about 60 minutes northwest of Detroit, about 10 miles south of Flint, Michigan. We have seen some folks, victims being taken out by stretcher. There has been a full-blown response to this church. We don't know how this fire was started, but sources tell our Fox 2 Detroit that fire was started by the suspected shooter. This all started shortly after 11 a.m. local time. We expect a press conference at about 12:45, 1 o'clock Eastern, with the latest from the police. But this is unfortunately, this was a church that they had people there worshiping inside.
Insane.
This church is open 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. When this shooter opened fire sometime after 11 a.m., striking from reportedly 6 to 8 people in that church.
It's crazy too, because this person, he probably wasn't even thinking about the consequences of this action. He probably just did it, just take a couple people with him and just die after. Like, no type of reasoning, no type of logic behind it. It's just like some mentally ill stuff in the mind for somebody to do that. Like, something going on up there. And it's, it's sad to see. And it has you questioning a lot of things, especially nowadays, been going on. Why everything's, occurring, why everything seems so like out of place. And, why people have this evil type of hatred for people now. It's like you can't have a civil conversation with the next person on different views, different viewpoints now. It goes straight to like aggression and violence. And they let the emotions take control of their behavior, It's like, why is it like that? Why are people reacting in such evil demonic ways? Who's got to question that, man?
Church, their condition unknown. You can see the shot here. This is, we don't control this camera, but this is a local affiliate there. You can see the fire trucks working there. There are police officers there. Like I said, that smoke from the church is billowing a lot less than it was even just 15, 20 minutes ago. So you can understand the situation here, Kevin, where they are working on putting out a fire at the same time that they are looking for victims of an active shooter. Just a horrific situation, a complicated situation there for our first responders in Grand Blanc, Michigan right now at the Church of Latter-day Saints. So we should expect an update within the next 40 minutes or so to give us a sense of what else, just the extent of this horrific situation. We do know, though, according to the reporting, as I said, that this is the police in Grand Blanc Township are saying that there is.
Bro, what's up with the connection? I thought my connection was bad. It's terrible, bro. It's all blurry. You can't even see this guy's face. That's how blurry it is. Nah, but yeah, let me know what you think about in the comments about this tragedy, man. This horrific, action. It's crazy, man. It really is. Like, who in the right mind would do such an action like that? And just to die afterwards? No reason behind it.
Currently, no threat to the public at this time because the shooter is down. That is a bit of good news here, as you can see the first responders trying to figure out, trying to take out this fire while also saving potentially any victims that could be trapped inside. Kevin.
Let me ask you, do we know if the fire was started and then the gunman opened fire, or did he attack the congregation and then set the building ablaze? Do we have any of that information? By the way, I should point this out. This is all happening on a day that the LDS Church announced with sorrow that Russell M. Nelson, the beloved president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, had died. He was 101, the oldest president in the history of the church. So it's a solemn day for mourners. I just wanted to point that out as well. Brian, back to you. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, it's a good point. Sources telling our local affiliate there in Detroit that the suspected shooter may have started the church fire. In terms of what came first, it is simply too soon to tell. What we do know, again, is that this was a shooting that was reported shortly after 11 a.m. You can see neighbors there looking, worryingly looking there. And so there are 6 to 8 victims. We don't know the extent of their injuries. We know that the active shooter is no longer was shot. We don't know if that shooter was killed. All we know is that that shooter is down. So these are all the things you can see. Our satellite view there, Google Maps, gives you an idea of the size.
Wow, that whole thing burned down. Yeah, man, coming for the churches, man. They're coming for the churches. Insane, bro. They're trying so hard. They're trying so hard. It's like, imagine people that was in the facility, was in the church, how they reacting right now. Terrified. Terrified. But, you know, even though this is tragedy, man, you can't let it stop us. You know, if you believe in something, you believe in the truth for your own, you gotta keep it going. You know, have that hope. Don't ever lose hope. You know, because the truth always shines. You know, even in the darkest days, it all comes to light. Just crazy these events has been going on.
Size of this church. We don't know how big this fire was, just based on the images that we could see. I mean, it was very thick black smoke. So to the extent of when this fire was started by this shooter, how large this fire was, did it take down the whole church? Was it simply in a small part? Those are simply questions that we don't know the answers to yet, but it looks like a substantial fire that they were putting down. This is an earlier video. You can see that the smoke was a lot thicker than it was even during the last couple of minutes of this report.
Insane, bro. Insane right there.
By the suspect. We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure. That fire was just extinguished by the Grand Blanc Township Fire Department within the past hour. So where we go from here is we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, you know, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information, statements that we have to obtain. So I'd like to thank all the agencies who responded, the City of Grand Blanc, Genesee County, Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Flint Township Police Department, the DNR, the State Police, and the ATF. I will provide additional information for you at 5 p.m., but I am willing to take any questions that you have that I could possibly answer right now.
Chief, can you talk about the kind of the progress of events? Did the suspect set the fire to get back inside of his vehicle and then bring the front door, or did it all happen at the same time?
So from what I understand, and again, this is just a preliminary investigation right now, from what I have been briefed on, is that he rammed the vehicle through the front door, exited, then started firing shots. And we are still trying to determine exactly when and where that fire ended up.
Boy, he ran the car through the front door and started blasting. Wow.
coming from and how it got started. So we believe it was deliberately set, though, by the suspect.
Were they in an active service when this happened?
Yes, the service was active. There was hundreds of people within the church.
Are you sure it's only one suspect at this point, or is it possible other people helped setting the fire? What happened?
Yes, it is one suspect that we know of at this point. We do not believe that there's a threat to the public. We believe that we have the guy who did this. Sir.
Could you comment at all on the severity of the injuries at this time?
We have a couple in critical condition. Like I said, one is deceased. The rest of them are in stable condition.
So a couple, maybe 3 or 2, I'm sorry.
One deceased. The suspect is deceased as well. And then multiple victims are in critical condition. We do believe that we will find some additional victims once we find the area where the fire was.
Wow.
Any word on the weapon yet?
An assault rifle.
So, as far as ammunition, did he have a lot of ammunition?
That I don't know of yet, and I could get you later.
Hi, Bill.
Hey.
Was the suspect known to authorities, and did he have any connection to anyone who was in that church?
Right now, we don't have any of that information, but I'm confident that our investigators, along with the FBI, we're going to end up uncovering all that information and provide that at a later time for you.
Chief, to clarify, you said there may be additional victims like inside the church? Or?
Yes, where the fire was. So, and the reason why we can't confirm that just yet is because it was a large fire, and we do believe that there was people up there that were near that fire, and they were unable to get out of the church. So we do believe that we will find additional victims once we're able to search that, once there's no signs of a fire reigniting.
So do you believe that of the victims that are still there, they succumbed to fire injuries or gunshots, or you're not sure yet?
That I'm not sure, but I could provide all that information hopefully at 5 p.m.
The shots were fired.
Shots were fired, yes.
And he had no idea how many, though, at this point.
No idea how many at this time. Yeah.
Can you
Sir.
describe the church? Is there like a worship area and then like a gathering space or something like that?
That I have not been in, so I can't tell you the layout.
Chief, can you kind of describe the process of how things change for tactical response when there's an active fire? Every training I've seen, it's always been a building that has not been on fire. So how do you deal with an active shooter when you have that situation happening?
Style starts with the details. The difference between mid and next level, a real gold.
Well,
Insane, bro. So it's probably multiple other victims deceased from the fire. Yeah, they haven't cleared the fire yet. Wow. Man. I pray for them that lost their lives. I pray for their families. But this is something that you will not expect. Not expect at all. Imagine going to church, and just I was doing that for years, for years. And stuff like this occurs. It's insane, bro. Insane.
we are here at Grand Blanc Township, and there's a lot of agencies within the state of Michigan. We are specifically trained to go right to the threat in an active shooter situation. And I'm proud of my guys and the DNR who responded to this scene, who immediately took that suspect out, so there was no additional victims. So it was a great job by our staff. Okay.
So it was a law enforcement officer that neutralized the suspect?
Yes, there was 2 law enforcement officers involved. I will be back here at 5 p.m. to give you additional information and hopefully answer some of the questions that you guys went over here today. So, okay. Supervisor Bennett.
Hello, Scott Bennett, Grand Blanc Township Supervisor. Scott, S-C-O-T-T, Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T. First, let me say we are heartbroken. This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community, and we are heartbroken that it came to Grand Blanc Township. and we're going to do everything we can to support the families, the victims, and our community getting through this situation. And it's something that no community ever wants to have. And we're going to do our best to do everything we can. We appreciate the outpouring of support from our elected leaders from both national and state in offering their assistance, and we probably will take them up on their offers. So we appreciate that very much, and we appreciate the community reaching out to us also. So the details are yet to come, as Chief Rennie has said, and we'll wait for a little bit later today when we have the rest of the situation assessed. But it may take a little while to do that. But thank you for all the support, and I'm sure that the families and the victims are going to need that. It's a tragedy that nobody wants to encounter. Thank you.
Chief, before you step out, can you go over the process with family members, where you want them to go, who they should call to get more information or identification?
Yeah, so those family members, they are in a secure area right now. They have been taken over to Trillium, so that's where the FBI will interview them and then release them from there. So
I mean, in terms of anybody who might be at home who is not there, who wants to check in to see if their loved one is okay, is there a number or place that you want them to go?
yes, you could call the Grand Blanc Township Police Department, 810-424-2611. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Insane, bro. Is this a smoke?
Unit. Anna, I know you've been listening into the news conference too. A lot of folks had questions, but as in cases like this, we're only a couple of hours removed from when this happened, so a lot still has.
Yeah, man. It's...
for this area, and really shocking just the way that this played out. A vehicle rammed into a church during church services. More than 100 people were there worshiping. Then opened fire. Just a horrific morning there. And multiple agencies, as you mentioned, ATF is on the scene, local FBI, Michigan State Police, the local police have been the lead, and we'll see if that changes if the FBI decides to take over. But at this point, it appears that local and state police are leading this investigation.
And according to the website, the church services start at about 10 o'clock. We understand that today the worldwide church of Latter-day Saints was grieving the death of their prophet, Russell M. Nelson. Now, we are not saying this is linked in any way, but here you have people that were mourning a leader in that church who was over 100 years old. Something like this happening, and also worth mentioning, the police chief saying, we believe we will find additional victims as we continue our investigation, because they believe people were not able to quite get out of that church safely because of that fire. So when you hear that the suspect set fire to the church, how does that impact the response to a shooting like this?
This is such a complex situation for law enforcement to address. Not only you had a shooter, but the fire, it's just sort of everything that could possibly be challenging happened in a very short period of time. We heard that a couple of local police officers.
It says the deranged madman who killed at least 2 people and injured others at Michigan Latter-day Saints Church, torching the building and opening fire on fleeing congregants and their families, has been identified as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford. The Post can confirm. What the? This is insane, chat. But who is this guy? This is the guy, chat. So far as we know. His name is Thomas Jacob Sanford. Crazy, man.
Obviously, they've connected him to what happened at the church this morning, which is a really sad thing. I spoke with somebody in the parking lot a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's insane, chat. Let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments. And you be safe out there wherever y'all go. It's getting real out here. You see, danger is literally right in the corner. And it's like, man, only the person that did this type of crime would know why he did it within his own mind. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. It's not making sense. If you're tuning into this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.